So if you have to go to trial, will you testify in your own defense?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
You'll take the stand.
That I look forward to.
I think
I'll testify.
Okay, if you do, and they ask you on the stand, did you order anyone to move boxes? How will you answer?
I'm not answering that question for you, but I'm totally covered under the law.
Again, stick the landing, dude. So that is Donald Trump saying he would testify in his defense in the stolen classified documents case. But he's learning, our former president. He's learning he shouldn't say everything to everyone. He's got some good counsel now, but he still can't help but say, but it was all legal, but I could do it anyway. And it's like, that's just such a biggest hat. It was like, I'm not cheating on you, babe, but if I were, it would be okay. Like, what? If I were, it's because you weren't loving me right. Like, just come on, all of the things. It's so obvious that he did ask to move the boxes. But Trump is very convinced that he would be a great witness in his defense. Here he is at the end of July on Truth Social bleeding. We'll have fun on the stand with all of these people that say the presidential election wasn't rigged and stolen, the trial of the century. And again, I mean, this is something that Cenk has said a million times, which is like, this could be the case where he can bring all of the supposed evidence that shows that the election was actually stolen from Donald Trump and handed to Biden. Where's the evidence? But I guess, I don't know, maybe he's sitting on something we don't know about, Adrienne.
No, he's sitting on a huge ego. That's what he's sitting on. Donald Trump, he's just out here saying whatever he wants to say. And the thing is that sometimes there's a potential for it to be used against you. But if I were a prosecutor, I probably wouldn't use very many of his public clips, in part because he'll say he's just playing up to the camera, that it's not something where he is speaking under oath. And so I wouldn't want to put myself in a position to try to hold him accountable for those statements. Right. But also, we have to bear in mind he has a right against incrimination under the Fifth Amendment, and I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to exercise that right at the end of the day. But then again, for his attorneys, I feel bad for them because that man may get on the stand and just act up right and left, which is something that is very much in his normal repertoire.
Well, I think your first guess is probably the best guess, right? That he's talking a big game now, but if he were on the stand, he would plead the Fifth a million times over, and in depositions he has pled the Fifth. But he of course thinks that's a weak thing to do, and only criminals and only the guilty do that. And yet he himself and his so-called co-conspirators have done that. We're gonna get to a trial that in Georgia that is beginning. But in terms of him testifying on his behalf, I feel like this clip from Bill Barr really captures why that would be a terrible idea. Take a look.
And what would happen if he got on the stand?
I think it would not come out very well for him.
Do you think it would hurt him?
Oh, yes, yes.
Why do you think that?
Well, because I think he'd be subject to very skilled cross-examination, and I doubt he remembers all the different versions of events he's given over the last few years.
I mean, right, it's like when you subject like the Trump bluster to the court of law, you can't squirm out of it. You can't give multiple answers. You're going to be held accountable for the thing you just said 30 seconds ago. The thing that most media outlets won't do to you. The thing that of course your followers and fans won't do to you. In a court of law, that's gonna happen. We saw the Alex Jones trial. It's like finally the echo chamber is broken and you're not just speaking into the void anymore of a bunch of sycophants. These are actual prosecutors and judges. Anyway, Adrienne, any last thoughts?
I think it's going to be interesting how this all plays out over the course of many months, especially given what's going on in Georgia and all of those defendants out there who probably will end up flipping too.
It's true, and you're right to remember Eileen Cannon, right? This could be sort of the most soft pedally of all of the crimes, which is like, it's fine. We don't need this one. We've got all the others, and they're more important in some ways. Although who knows who he sold these documents to?
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.